Hello, and welcome to a special audio-only version of Technocracy Zero Sum. I hope you enjoy. So Tegan's heading to bed. That's where we left game last time, was this finally being able to go rest after the excitement of the last probably 24, 28 hours.
Oh god, yeah.
What would Tegan be doing to wind down after everything to kind of get into, okay, I'm going to sleep now?
Oh boy, Tegan's had her mind messed with a bit. Honestly, I think she's going to start working on her arm and some tech, and she's gonna go through some basic diagnostics and a little tweaking, seeing if she can fiddle with some screws and a little bit of programming and see if things can be operating a little bit smoother. I think she's just gonna go to basic ideas of what she's used to training for and used to maintenance to kind of bring a bit of that normalcy back into what she's used to, because everything else has been so absolutely bonkers that this routine is the only thing that she's kind of okay, this can ground me.
Right, yeah, almost like a meditation.
Yeah, almost.
Going through the steps that you're used to.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So Tegan works through these diagnostics, and you can feel your heart rate kind of slowing down. You're getting a little restful just here in this space. Finally, you reach a point where you're like, I think I can sleep now. And you put aside your stuff and you head to bed. Despite all of the work you just put into calming yourself down, your mind apparently has a few other ideas, because you wake up in what you recognize as a dream you've had before. Something feels a little different this time, but this is a place you've been before, and you do have this vague idea that you did just go to sleep, so this is probably a dream.
Mm.
You open your eyes to just black stars kind of above you, and as your eyes kind of take in the ambient light, it starts to make out the shapes of trees.
Mm.
And a soft breeze comes through where you're lying on the ground on dirt and leaves. You can smell pine needles. And that familiar fear starts to build in your stomach that you're back in the forest. As you realize this and come to a little more, and you look at yourself, you are completely naked without any of your tech.
I think that's the more terrifying thing than being naked. I think being without tech is the more terrifying thing.
Yeah. And given that you don't have a mirror and can't really look at yourself, but you can kind of feel your body, you think you're about 19 again.
Mm.
You think this is sort of... It's a weird nightmare mixture of reliving what actually happened to you.
Yeah.
And being naked at school nightmare.
Yeah, it's just the best of everything. It's the perfect nightmare.
Absolutely it is.
Oh man, I've had those dreams in real life. It's terrible.
So this fear, this acknowledgement of where you are, what you think might be about to happen, kind of builds in the pit of your stomach, and the dark starts to creep in around you, and you think you can hear this low growl from somewhere in the darkness beyond the trees. What do you do?
Oh boy. Is it coming from a particular direction? It's coming kind of ominously? Does it sound behind me or in front of me or to a specific side at all?
You focus on it for a moment, and while the acoustics of this place initially made it seem like it's coming from more around you, from kind of all directions, you think that the loudest part of it is behind you.
Okay. What would I do? I think Tegan, knowing that this is going to happen, is going to try and very quietly try and survey where she is and see what could be of use. She's going to try and slowly start backing away to try and keep an eye and her like ears kind of focused on where the sound is, and at the same time trying to just see if she can find like a cave or rocks or somewhere where she can use her small figure to her advantage versus what is hunting her.
Okay. What is Tegan what's running through her mind right now? Is it like a sense of get away, keep moving, don't let it get you in the back kind of thoughts, or what?
I think she's trying to put a little bit of her training that she's had. Obviously, this dream is back before she joined the Technocracy, but she's trying to be like, okay, all right, you have this panic. Okay, what have you learned that you can apply to this situation that you can change the outcome? And I think it's like, yes, don't let your enemy ever get an advantage on you by like turning your back to them. If you are smaller, use what you can to try and gain any extra leverage that you have. So I think she's almost trying to go through the basic training of what she's learned to be like, okay, we've done this. We've lived this nightmare. I've done this so many times. What can I do to change this time? Something's different. I don't dream of myself naked usually in this situation. What is different? What can I do? Is kind of that. And also just trying to not panic, because I think there's a lot of panic that's rising in her at this.
That's fair. At first, as you kind of turn to face the sound so that it's no longer behind you, there's this weird sensation of the sound turning with you so that it continues to be behind you. But as you kind of walk your brain through the steps in your training, the things you need to keep in mind, not turning your back on your enemy, basically, the sound doesn't dissipate so much as spread out, so it's no longer directly behind you and you can't quite tell what direction it's coming from.
Okay.
It's also like a continuous hum almost now.
Oh.
It's not mechanical, but, well, it could be mechanical, but it's definitely like not a natural growling anymore. As it's kind of spreads.
Yeah. Okay. So then Tegan's like thinking in her head again. Okay. This is different. What does it mean? Technology? Is this something I can deal with? I had tech, but I don't have anything on me right now that could defend me. Am I supposed to face this? Am I supposed to not face this?
What is Tegan's general perception score?
My perception is 3.
Okay. Please continue.
So I think she's trying to figure out this puzzle. And I think she's wondering instead of running if this is supposed to be almost facing down this unknown entity that is just, she's like, is this my mind trying to tell me this is something different? Is using the same thing, but it's different? And she's like thinking in her head, like, is Kibo fucking with me? Like, did he somehow do this? Like that damn cat.
As you're thinking about that, and you're still moving, looking for stuff to help you, basically.
Yeah.
And as you're running through the potential possibilities and still feeling that innate panic building, because, I mean, you have a flaw for this. It's, you know, you don't like being here.
No, I don't. This is one of the worst things I can imagine for myself right now.
Yeah. You back up and your foot touches something cold and hard. And you look down, and past a thin layer of dirt and like a couple of leaves is something reflecting in kind of the starry moonlight It looks like stainless steel.
She'll kneel down on the ground and, again, very kind of, is the growling getting any louder? Does it sound like, she can't quite pinpoint where it's coming from, but is it sounding any louder at the moment?
As Tegan crouches down, it does actually start to get louder, and it's starting to move like it had spread from kind of the point behind her. It's moving around to in front of her, and it's getting louder at that point as you kind of reach down to touch whatever's on the ground.
If she gets back up without grabbing it, does it go away?
No.
Okay. She'll reach back down and grab it.
You reach back down and realize you can't actually pick anything up because it's actually floor under this thing. And as you kind of are still like paying attention to where your enemy is, right? So you're not directly, this is why you weren't quite sure what it was because you're like, I can't just look at it.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, no.
Yeah, you move your hand around and it feels like almost like a 5 foot by 5 foot square path that might be moving back behind you.
Some Matrix shit.
Through the woods.
Where's the blue pill, red pill? I forget which one I'm supposed to be eating at the moment, but where's the one that gets me out of here? She's mumbling to herself. Okay. This is a floor? Is it just a... She's gonna start backing up. Again, going back from where she came from almost.
Away from the path?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, you head kind of away from the path. Are you, like you said, backing up, so are you turning to face the path and then moving backwards away from it that way?
Yeah, like I think she's gonna like face it and then just kind of head off like east into the wilderness, I guess. At this point, the Paley said she does not want to go, but she's like, what the fuck is going on right now?
Okay. You head off into the actual wilderness part. As you kind of walk into that area of the woods, the growling, humming, weird sound seems to be staying where it was, kind of on the edge of that clearing that you were in. And the way you're moving, you're kind of moving not quite perpendicular, but like at a 45-degree angle to where the path seemed to be going.
Yeah.
And as you glance over in that direction, you can kind of see like fluorescent lights over there and darkness the way you're going.
I think she's thinking, she's like, okay, my dream is wanting me to do something. And I think I'm going away from what I'm supposed to do and what I'm supposed to face. I think this is not the point. I don't think running away is supposed to be the point of this. Because that's what I did, and that's where I ended up in this situation. So, if it's staying, not following, I think she will go towards the light.
Yeah, okay.
Because she's like, okay, I think I have to face this. I think I can't run away and hide in the woods forever, because I will just not survive.
Okay.
You have to face this, whether or not this is facing death or facing change or facing your fear. She's like, okay, I'm gonna have to face this. This is, I think my brain's telling me I need to go this way. So she will resume back onto the path to face the terrible growling noise that she has nightmares about.
Okay. You head down this path, and as you do, the dirt starts to clear, and it is just stainless steel flooring in the middle of these woods. And you pass by this sign that, given what you were just thinking, seems a little on the nose, and you're kind of like, I see what's happening here. Because the sign says predator or prey, and it's written like a storefront sign, like a medieval little store sign.
Yep.
And you can see where the fluorescent light has gotten brighter. There's like a lab counter, like all stainless steel lab counter, and a young man that you recognize as Maxwell is standing behind this counter. You remember him with a prosthetic leg, but here he also has a prosthetic arm and what looks to be a fake eye as well. He's standing at this counter with all of these gadgets on top of it. And like an NPC in a video game, as you kind of get close enough to activate his area of effect.
Yeah, the little triangle view, yeah.
Yeah. He goes, "How can I help you today?" As he's like polishing one of the pieces.
Can I have some of that?
You can have whatever you'd like, but it's going to cost you.
I don't have any money. What can I give you?
Oh, that's fine. We don't deal with money here anyway, but it depends on what you would like. For instance, if you would like, and he holds up the prosthetic arm that he's polishing, he's like, an arm for an arm, a leg for a leg. Or maybe a memory would do, if you could give us something we like. Or maybe a loved one. Choice is yours.
I mean, I'd like my stuff back. I guess maybe it's not my stuff yet, but I'd at least like an eye and an arm. That's what I'm used to.
Let's see. Here. And he reaches in and pulls out an eye that looks like one you're familiar with.
Yeah, that'll do.
What would you like to offer in exchange?
I mean, an eye for an eye.
Very well. He will hold out the eye for you to grab.
Yep.
And then he looks at you and goes, Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Catch a tiger by the toe. Hollers, let him go. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. And his arm reaches out and grabs the eye out of its socket and rips it out of your head.
Ah! Oh my fuck! Painkillers! Give any sort of painkillers! Oh my god! Fuck!
You requested an eye, not painkillers.
Yeah, I'll give you the memory of those fucking pain for those painkillers.
If you put the other eye in, it will stop.
Okay. She'll grab the eye and then just quickly pop it in her socket.
And your usual neurons and eye bits kind of reconnect and the pain vanishes.
Oh, you just did that for fun.
You get that familiar whirring sensation of your mechanical eye back. And he's looking around the counter. Do you still want the arm?
Will it go away? Will the pain go away like it did with the eye?
Probably.
Probably.
I also don't have to take your arm. If you'd like to offer something or someone else. And he'll pull out a familiar looking arm.
I mean, I don't know if I could trade someone's life for my arm. I don't think my arm's worth that. But you said memory, right?
Yes.
I would offer up the memory of my first year of university with my best friend before I got away and became who I am. Really good memories with them.
Acceptable. And he just reaches out a hand, and it doesn't hurt, but that memory is erased from your mind, and there's just a gap there.
Weird. I know something should be there, but it's just not there.
And your arm shimmers and shifts, and without any pain at all, the prosthetic one merges into your body.
Cool. Do you have anything else?
We have a wide selection. What would you desire?
I mean, I want to become basically a robot. Cyborg. Cybernetic android. Perfect master of human and Cyborg, that'd be the best thing I take on this creature. It can't hurt me if I'm metal, or mostly metal. But is my brain telling me that? Am I supposed to do that? Am I supposed to change myself for this? Or face the fears as I was? Or as I am? Or should I have just been naked? Do you have clothes?
We do have clothes. And he'll reach under the counter and pull out a box. It looks kind of like a lost and found box of just like a bunch of random pieces of clothing in there. And he will hand you the box. That's free of charge.
Oh, sweet. Tegan's going to just like find a shirt, pants, and shoes, and just like that are all relatively like close to her size, and just put stuff on. All right, I feel a little bit more protected from the elements now.
The shirt you find is about 3 sizes too big, but at least it's not falling off your shoulders. Like for some reason the neck hole's pretty small, but the rest of it's huge. So
no.
Everything else you find fits relatively closely.
Cool.
It's at least not proving a hindrance.
Yeah. Do you know what's waiting for me? Beyond?
I suppose it's something you're afraid of. Or maybe it's something you need to face. But who am I but a lowly shopkeep here at Predator and Prey? Or Prey. He actually says that. That is not a...
Yeah. I'm so torn if I want to improve myself more like I'd want. Like, ideally, that's what I want to be, but am I supposed to face it as I am now? Seems like that would be a mission my brain would want to put. But also getting souped up like the Terminator, a really good Mark 10 would be great. But that is cheating. Yet. Thank you so much for your services. You are a wonderful shopkeep. I promise to give you a 5-star review on Yelp or whatever you need.
If you are sure I can't tempt you further.
No, I think I'm okay. I think I need to do this as me. But you sell it well. You're a good upsell. I will give you that. I'm very tempted, but I feel like I'm not supposed to. Whatever this is.
Should you ever wish to return, and he'll snap his fingers and the light will go out and you are in complete darkness. But you have your arm, you have your eye, and you have clothes.
Yep. Yay! We're steps in the right direction.
As you realize that no longer is the stainless steel under your feet as well, it is just dirt and ground. The growl becomes louder, and it is right behind you.
I think Tegan's going to just tense, and she is going to swallow every inch of her that's screaming to run away. She's going to be like, you're not supposed to run away. You can't outrun this thing. You have the things you have now. Gotta fight it. And she's going to tense her muscles and get her arm ready, and she's just going to be ready to, like, basically swing out at where she would potentially guess, like, a muzzle would be right behind her. She's going to kind of just be like, okay, you're gonna fight, you're not gonna fight, it's a fight time. And she's just gonna, like, whip around and like, just be ready to throw hands.
Tegan whips around, moving faster than she probably would in real life. There's very few physics here. Enough to keep you on the ground, basically, but
yeah.
You spin and your arm whips out into this hook. The image of, it was a cougar? Yeah. The image of that cougar is so etched in your mind that you know exactly where it's supposed to be. And as you whip around with that hook, you don't make contact with a muzzle. Instead, a hand grabs yours and stops your fist mid spin. And you're looking up into a completely metal suit is what it looks like. And it's a completely flat blank faceplate kind of thing.
Mm.
There's no eye holes or anything, but it breaks and opens, and you're staring up into your own face.
Huh.
And you realize that it's not a suit that she's wearing, it's just her body.
Hi. You... This is us. What I want, theoretically.
Theoretically.
Why were you hunting me?
I needed to see if you were willing to change.